Call the roll, please.
Lori Bradshaw,
Here.
Charles Trammell,
Here.
Joy Shropshire.
Here, I know of no petitions from the audience, so we're going to discuss possibly approve the minutes of the July 8th, 2025 meeting. Entertain a motion.
Motion?
Second.
Motion made and seconded. Discussion. Call for the vote.
Bradshaw,
Yes.
Trammell,
Yes.
Shropshire.
Yes. Okay, we're going to go straight into number 6, presentation from City Accountant Jeff Coker. Mr. Coker.
Okay, well, I mean, I don't know exactly what you want to hear from me, but we're working on getting the books cleaned up. They're a lot better than they were. I personally found some duplicated payrolls. You know, the mayor said he sent me this 1,700-page report, which is actually about 1,800 pages. But anyway, I found,
That's all that
we found, I noticed the payrolls in June looked really high. Found out we had actually 2 duplicated payrolls in June. Removed those, found some other things that were issuing.
2 duplicated payrolls in June?
Yes.
Wow, that's
How is this happening?
Well, I think what it was is unfamiliarity with the new procedures regarding the flow of information from Paylocity to our town. Now, I think we have that covered. We've gone over what needs to be entered, what the entry should look like. We fixed some entries from Paylocity that were not exactly right, and so I don't think that will happen again.
So the money wasn't ever given out?
Nope, money was not paid out. It was actually the expense. The entry from Paylocity is divided into 3. And of course, Paylocity does the payroll, so they're the only ones sending out the payroll. So any entry that the Pryor makes doesn't actually affect, doesn't send anything out. It's just a journal entry provided by the payroll company, okay? But it didn't affect cash. The part that was duplicated was the actual expense and liability. So I noticed when I got financial statement, I looked at the liabilities and go, well, yeah, something's wrong, because I could just tell that the numbers were out of whack. And then when I looked at the expense, and the payroll expense was way high in every department, yeah,
That's not right.
it couldn't have been right. So I started looking, and it was 2 duplicated payrolls. But I don't believe that's going to be an issue anymore, because we've had
Good.
discussions about that.
But we're looking better.
Well, yes, and in fact, I mean, the books aren't officially closed yet because Paylocity is, I mean, not Paylocity, Cassell is still doing stuff. But as of this afternoon at 12:32 p.m., the net revenue over expenditures is $104,000.
For the year?
Yeah. So I'm just going to call that break even, really.
Well, it's better than a 1.2 million loss.
Oh, yeah.
That we-
Absolutely.
And so now, as far as the budget is concerned, we still have to wait to get something official from. But your total revenues for the year look like they are about 8.7 million. Okay. So, and your looks like at this point in time, your carryover, of course, you can budget 90% of your revenues thereabouts, and your carryover is going to be about close to 1.1 million. Okay. However, you know, as I have said before, you really shouldn't try to spend more than 100% of your revenues, right? So that 8.7 is going to be probably thereabouts what you would want to plan on spending for the next year.
I'm going to ask you a real crazy question. So we figure out the money that we have, you know, the carryover money.
Yeah.
We figure out approximately what we're going to get in taxes next year. You add all of that up, and then you budget 90% of that, correct?
Now, you know, you budget 90% of the revenue, so you figure out, look at your last year's revenue, and I said 8.7 million. So take 90% of that, which would be, what, about 7.8, 7.9 million?
Sure.
Okay. Then you take your carryover at 100%. So if it's 1.1 million, and you add that to the 7.9, just to make it easy for me, that would be $9 million total.
Okay.
Okay. But your revenues being 8.7, you really might not want to plan on spending more than the 8.7.
But there's still the 10% there that is not put into the budget.
Well, that You're right, that 10% is not put into the budget, but again, if you spend more than your revenues,
That's where it eats it up.
that's where it eats it up.
Right, but it's not accounted for in the budget.
Not in that
10%
budget.
is not.
Right, 10% of that 9 million estimate, let's say, of the revenues, which would be about 880,000.
Yeah, close to 900,000.
So let me throw out a hypothetical, and hear me out on this.
Honestly,
So it sounds like you and Cassell are finding money,
not finding money, finding,
duplicate payrolls. Is that going to be funds that we can spend this year?
actually, it was just overstating expenses and understating your carryover. It didn't affect cash, okay?
And it didn't affect actual expenditures,
Not actual expenditures, it was just numbers in the
reported
books.
expenditures.
Yeah. So,
But your reported expenditures come off the line items.
yes, and well, that's why when,
So you actually have more money in the line items than what you thought because you had,
right. You
The
actually,
financial statements were overstated.
Right.
yeah, your expenses were well overstated, and that's why earlier, maybe earlier.
So we're
in
not
July-
gonna have a pot of money.
Huh?
We're not gonna have an extra pot of money this
No,
year.
no, there's no extra pot
but
of
we're
money,
not
no.
in the red either.
But you didn't overspend, like, at one point, it looked like you overspent $800,000.
Right.
I just knew that couldn't be right.
So how much did we actually came with 104.
It
to the
didn't
good.
right at the moment. Like I said, there are still adjustments being made. We haven't officially closed out anything, but you are in a much, much better position than it looked like you might have been when just a few weeks or a month and a half
So
ago.
do you know when we will get
I'm hoping it,
corrected
hope.
financial statements
I
for the
don't
year?
know, but it's, I think they're whittling down the problems every day. So, it's possible that in a week or two, we could have something official. But, yeah.
We're only talking 1,800 pages, right?
Well, yeah. Now, Cassell is going and looking at some of the setups of some of the way entries were made. Now, there's templates on how entries are made, but apparently there were some that were set up incorrectly, and so it was posting things incorrectly. And templates are something that, someone had to set it up, but I don't know who or when or where or why, and it's not something that I would normally look at.
They were just untrained.
Well, yeah, I don't know.
So when Cassell is here, Mayor, are they actually cleaning up the writing, the templates, whatever, in Cassell? Or they, are,
Mixture of what they're doing right now.
okay.
Yeah, they have fixed some templates, yes, I know that.
Good.
Okay.
But it's looking not so bad.
Flat.
We're not rich, but we held our own last year, which is pretty good, and we need to just sort of maintain this to get ourselves back in a position with more reserves.
When you say maintain this, the
We don't-
fiscal responsibility?
Yes, we don't need to go out and spend a lot of money because we think we're flush, because we're not,
Right.
really. We
Right.
need to,
Main thing we need to do is come up with ways to generate more revenue too. More
that would be nice
businesses.
too, yeah.
Yeah.
But, it is good news compared to what we thought we were going to be at maybe a month and a half ago. Although
Okay. Good.
when I first saw that number, I knew that was
Yeah.
not right. Yeah, yeah. So, that's where we're at. So I know you guys are working on the budget, setting for a set amount, and, approximately 8.7 would be the
Okay.
figure I would shoot for. It may change somewhat.
And that's just general fund.
That's just general fund. Has nothing to do with any of the other funds.
All right.
Yeah. That's the one with the most concern.
Yeah, that's
So, any questions, other questions?
sure appreciate it.
Yes, thank you so much for going through all of that for us.
You got another trip, huh?
Huh?
You're heading out, you got another?
No, I'm not, I already took my vacation, because I learned from
No,
last
no,
year.
no, I mean another meeting.
Oh, yes, another meeting, I got, wow, I'm actually
You
gonna.
better get, well, we sure appreciate it.
No problem, and again, if there's any questions, I'm always available. Some people
Okay.
call more than others, but that's fine.
Yeah.
Okay?
All right, thank you so much. Thank you. Okay, number 4, mayor's report. I just wanna-
Sorry, guys. I didn't mean to.
No problem.
I got back as quick as I could. I think they told you Charles I had to run the Cassell guy to get his car. I think I made good time.
I think you
You did make good time.
did. The Cassell guy's car got hit?
No, he had to go get a rental.
Oh, okay,
So
okay.
he didn't, I had to pick him up this morning anyways. Long and short is, he's got a rental car now, so.
Good deal.
Just keep it short and sweet here. You look at the numbers on the sales tax report, 978,000, 489. That's up from last month at 925. The used tax, we're down just ever so slightly, but more or less we're right about the same. Tobacco tax is down. Any questions on that? It's still pretty early in the reporting year, so,
Yeah, we're still,
you know, we always like to start off kind of strong. We've got, getting into, you know, the months of festivals, so we're hoping to see kind of an incline here with the Rocklahoma, the Born and Raised, bringing bluegrass out to October. Maybe that'll kind of stretch some of those sales tax numbers out a little longer, more than just a one lump, like last year we got it in one lump sum. You heard the financial status and stuff basically from Jeff of where we are right now. We're just waiting to get those finalized things. We are preliminaried with a general fund budget, kind of very rough number right now. We're about 878, somewhere there. The number that I've got right now is 8774, but I've got to add one account to that we just got the number from. That's for the one of the retirement plans. We just got that on like Thursday or Friday last week from Definity. That'll be about 9,000 that I need to add to that. That just
So
gives
you're
us,
right there where he was saying we probably can
right on
do.
time.
I'm right on it. And so, you know, that's just the general fund. We're starting to put together the capital outlay lists, the things for capital. We've got a basic understanding of what we need. For example, the parks has got some equipment they need. They've got some projects in terms of drainage. Streets, we've got some drainage projects. I've been able to go in and all of the reports that you guys sent for drainage and street and sidewalk projects, I've got those mapped out. Those are in the conference room on that giant map if you want to take a look at those. I think what we find on that is it puts a visual to some of the needs that we have in terms of drainage. There's a large blue area in the middle of that map, and that's one of the things we're going to need to look at is those areas that are color coded on that map as you guys have reported them. So I appreciate that. We're going to make sure as we get into the non-general fund budgets that the things like the rollover monies from the street, that we get those rolled over properly. Jeff and I have talked about some of the issues with the capital expense from park from the previous year. That there's a question about when they were paid versus when they were approved, and the point is they weren't rolled over correctly. So we're clean slate there. Those are Jeff's words. We're clean slate. We got to start with the new funding amounts. We'll get those all picked up. The department heads are kind of slowly giving me what they have in terms of capital needs. The main thing is and some of you we've talked about this is going to be a very flat budget. You know, as nice as it is to hear we're better off than we were, we're going to maintain the status quo. That's the goal. When we looked at the year end amount expended, the departments actually did really well. There was very, very few line items that were over the 100%. And those were things that we knew, the workman's comp, stuff like that. And some of that, you know, we hit it and we run, but we were able to make all of the adjustments we need, and I think sounds like we're gonna be right in line with where we need to be. So as soon as we get those numbers from solid numbers, then we'll have this ready to present to the full council.
How much are you planning to put in unallocated reserves?
Whatever the difference is between what he gives us and that total. So that's gonna be dependent on the numbers we get at the end.
He being Jeff?
Yep.
Okay.
But I think if we get down to that, we'll see. And again, we've talked a little bit about this in between. The changes where we had to take things up were just things where we cut close last year and we don't wanna, we know utilities, we maybe have to get a little beef there, we have to do some of those things. The general supplies and things, most of those didn't change. Cleaned up a lot of the payroll things where employees left for whatever reason and we didn't backfill, those were still in that budget. We were able to clean that up. Some of those positions that we've talked about in the past that need to be backfilled still, we left. We plugged in numbers where we know, like at the animal shelter with Maria just leaving, we know we're gonna need a third person, so we went back to the rates that we're paying the new guy, Jet, and we plugged his numbers in so that it'll be that same range and wage and range for the new person, so we know what we're gonna be at. And those two positions won't hit any longevity in the first year, so we got all that kind of figured out into this budget. Any questions?
Okay, you wanna go ahead and go into the capital outlay now?
I kind of just tried to wrap it all up there, I'm sorry.
That's okay. We'll have to do a vote on it anyway. Discussion regarding upcoming capital outlay equipment and project needs. I'll entertain a motion.
It's just a discussion.
Just discussion? All right, we're good then. Okay, is that all you got, Mayor?
No, I just wanna, I mean, if you guys have any questions on capital, we can kind of talk about that. Like I said, the lists are still kind of coming in. The big thing is gonna be to make sure that our street projects and drainage projects get done. And that parks have got some drainage issues that tie into those, and then there's some equipment needed here and there. We are gonna put some attention into Bobby Buck a little bit. We've talked about that, providing some capital for that. We're gonna have to put a little capital into some of the city buildings. We've still got funds set away for city building capital that the council put away from last year. So I think we'll be good. Everybody's very much aware that we're maintaining the status quo of a flat budget. So
Yeah. Looking a lot better than it did, huh?
it's a lot better than it did. It's a lot better, you know, Joy, to that comment, 2 years ago, we weren't anywhere close to where we are today. And that's a lot of hard work. That's a lot of grit and frustration and commitment, and everybody's done a good job working together to bail it out. And so I think we're headed in the right direction. We're trending in a direction that is positive and reflective of what people are expecting us to do. So we good?
We're good.
Questions?
I don't have any.
Anything?
Good.
All right, thanks, Mayor.
Yep.
I know of none, but no unforeseen business, so I'd entertain a motion to adjourn.
Motion?
Second.
Motion made and seconded to adjourn. Discussion, call for the vote.
Trammell,
Yes.
Shropshire,
Yes.
Bradshaw.
Yes.
Okay, we are adjourned. A good meeting.